Hello guys, I know it's late, whatever. Here's a video for you. We're going to be reacting to England, the Broad Street Pump, nothing. Jon Snow, Extra History #1. Let's go!
The miasma spreads through the air, and as it is breathed in, the human being becomes possessed of sickness.
I'm not sure that's how it works.
You know nothing, Jon Snow.
Yeah, that generally was untrue. Not how it actually went.
Jon Snow? Yes, really.
Oh, no, we're not talking about what happened in the video, but I'm talking about what that guy was talking about. That wasn't how it actually happened.
Was no lord's son. He was born to a coal yard worker in one of the poorest neighborhoods of York. It was 1813. Napoleon had just retreated from Russia, and the Industrial Revolution in England was in full swing. Young Snow's mind outpaced his setting. He was a perspicacious youth, always curious and inquisitive, always digging into whatever he found. His mother noticed her child's perpetually active mind and swore to herself that he would be no coal hand. She took a small inheritance that she had come into and paid to send him to school. He took to schooling like nothing else. By the time he was 14, he was apprenticed to a doctor in Newcastle, and it was here that he would first...
Little input, yeah. I'm not going beyond the same level as him ever.
Meet the specter that would haunt the rest of his life. Cholera. You see, cholera had its roots in India, but with the increase in trade and transport in the 19th century, it crept its way up to Russia, then crawled westward through Europe, first making its way to London, and then to Newcastle in 1831. But so many were struck so life. Cholera.
Sorry about that, guys.
You see, cholera had its roots in India, but with the increase in trade and transport in the 19th century, it crept its way up to Russia, then crawled westward through Europe, first making its way to London, and then to Newcastle in 1831. But so many were struck so fast by the disease that the doctor who Snow was apprenticed to was overloaded. And so it was at the age of 18 that Jon Snow was sent alone into the horror of the coal slums to treat the coal workers dying of this disease. And make no mistake, cholera is one of the most terrifying diseases out there. It doesn't cause the unimaginable mortality rate of the plague, smallpox, or even some strains of influenza, but it's a horrific disease to contract. A disease whose horror is in how it manifests, how it takes over a person's body. It is swift and utterly wretched. Cholera can take a healthy person and leave them a husk overnight. And its onset is sudden. A person can be walking down the street, and then all of a sudden they'll grab their stomach and fall to the ground, spewing vomit and diarrhea. They'll continue to expel diarrhea at up to 20 liters a day until their skin becomes turgid and their blood turns to sludge, becoming too dehydrated and thick to circulate due to how much fluid the person's lost. Then the organs shut down one by one, and the person dies not directly because of an action of the disease, but because they've lost so much fluid that their body can no longer form the plasma it needs to keep itself alive. And all the things Jon Snow had learned as an apprentice achieved nothing. From house to house he'd walk, trying to apply every technique known to medicine at the time to treat the sick. Bleeding, opium, strong herbs to keep off the miasma. All of these things had no effect, and patient after patient died. Even when he tried giving them water, no matter how much water he gave them, they'd appear better for a few short hours. Then they would soon sink back down to torpor, and finally death. So, despite his training, one by one, as he made his rounds, he left his patients' blue-pale corpses behind. His idea to
Hey guys, you might see my very dead, depressed voice. It's because I'm pretty much depressed. But let's continue on with the video. I'm not trying to be insensitive about this horrible thing that happened, but yeah.
Hydrate them was correct, but the medical community was only just beginning to understand that the excessive diarrhea not only caused a loss of water, but a loss of sodium as well, which is a key component of blood plasma. And it wouldn't be until the 20th century that the major breakthrough was made, when it was discovered that drinking glucose would help a cholera-ravaged intestinal system take up the saline it so desperately needed. And so Jon Snow's patients died. But as an apprentice, he'd kept meticulous journals with his observations and theories. He had seen that coal workers would often be struck down by cholera deep in the coal pit,